much pressure do you have to perform from day one?
There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. I've been getting pressure since I was 10 years old. I don't think there's no pressure for me because I'm doing something that I love to do, and that's play the game of basketball.
Here he comes the other way. There's your first James jam. Oh!
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
I'm not going to guarantee no championship. I tell you that. I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Oh, blocked by James!
LeBron James was asked how much pressure he felt to perform from day one, and he confidently responded that there was no pressure at all. He explained that he had been dealing with expectations since he was 10 years old and didn't view it as a burden, because playing basketball was something he truly loved. Early on, he delivered a highlight with his first emphatic dunk, as the announcer shouted, "There's your first James jam." LeBron James with no regard for human life. Despite the hype surrounding him, LeBron made it clear that he wasn't going to guarantee a championship. Instead, he promised only to give his best effort. Moments later, he showcased his defensive ability with a memorable blocked shot.
You could say the Lakers have made things better and maybe LeBron will want to stay, but that doesn't get back to the central question of, do the Lakers want LeBron James back?
On February 16, 2025, in San Francisco, the stage was set for LeBron James to make his record-breaking 21st All-Star Game appearance. However, just 90 minutes before tip-off, he withdrew from the game, citing soreness in his foot and ankle.
You won't see anything from me tonight. Unfortunately, I would not be in uniform tonight. Still dealing with ankle and foot discomfort, so I will not be playing tonight, unfortunately. I hate that, but I'm looking forward to seeing the format.
But here's what doesn't get said outright. LeBron didn't want to face the Rising Stars, a team made up of rookies and second-year players. Former NBA player Chandler Parsons openly criticized the decision, pointing out the inconsistency. He argued that other NBA players have had to play against LeBron's own son, so why should LeBron now avoid competing against the younger generation? To Parsons, it seemed that LeBron simply didn't want to go up against the rising stars of the league.
Here's the problem I have. Here's the problem I have, and it's with what we're talking about this in particular with LeBron James not wanting to play against rising stars. All these other NBA players have to play against his son because LeBron has kind of put him in that situation. Who's a rising star? So what's the difference now? What he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play against the young guys, but
completely different. Completely different.
How's it different?
Think about that. Every team in the league has to act as if Bronny James truly belongs in the NBA, largely because LeBron orchestrated it. Yet, when it came time for LeBron to face the actual rising stars, he suddenly cited ankle soreness. The timing felt suspicious, the excuse convenient, and as a result, for the first time since 2004, an All-Star game took place without LeBron James. His incredible 20-year streak of consecutive starts came to an end. Even his close friend Draymond Green seemed to throw shade, suggesting that the young players didn't deserve the privilege of playing on Sunday.
Rising Stars champ gets to play against the All-Stars on Sunday. One All-Star from last year told me he didn't like this because what does the All-Star team that plays against the Rising Stars have to gain? He's like, we're supposed to beat them. If we lose, we look bad. Draymond, who's a four-time All-Star, who never, I don't think, was picked to be a starter, said, these young guys, if they're on the Rising Stars team, they don't deserve the privilege of playing on Sunday. And I truly understand that. He felt like it cheapens what Sunday will be. He liked the format, he just didn't like it this way.
Translation: the old guard is afraid, and the new blood is on the rise, and LeBron saw it coming long before anyone else. But let's revisit something his PR machine has tried to bury for the past 14 years, the 2011 NBA Finals. In that series, Jason Terry, a 33-year-old role player, averaged 18 points not just against the Miami Heat, but specifically against LeBron James. Terry later revealed what he saw on the court. During a key moment in the fourth quarter, LeBron dropped his chin to his chest, shaking his head and taking deep breaths, looking completely worn out. The numbers from that series are damning. Just 17.8 points per game, 6.8 assists, 48% shooting from the field, and in Game 4, only 8 points total, while being defended by Jason Kidd and J.J. Barea, guards nearly half his size. Years later, in 2024, LeBron himself admitted that the 2011 Finals were the lowest point of my career.
Was that the low point for you in your career?
Oh, for sure.
2011.
The lowest.
Yeah,
the lowest.
But here's what often gets overlooked. Kobe Bryant faced that very same Dallas team earlier in those playoffs. Yes, the Lakers were swept, but Kobe never mentally checked out. He didn't hang his head or lose his edge. He went down swinging. That's the essence of Mamba mentality, and it stood in stark contrast to LeBron's collapse, especially considering that Jason Terry had tattooed a championship trophy on his arm before the season and then made good on it against LeBron. Fast forward to today, And there's another storyline brewing. The Lakers have publicly embarrassed LeBron James. According to NBA insiders, he wanted a simple 1+1 contract extension this summer. Not a huge demand, just a measure of security for a 40-year-old who had delivered them a championship in 2020. Instead, the Lakers went silent, with no signs of serious negotiations. One NBA executive even suggested that by refusing to extend him, the team deliberately put LeBron in a bind. Meanwhile, Rob Pelinka's press conference this week was a masterclass in polished corporate speak, offering no real answers.
The first thing we want to do in terms of LeBron and his future is just give him absolute respect to choose his story with his family in terms of how many years he's going to continue to play. He's earned that right, and he's the best one to talk about that in terms of how many years he'd like to play. First things first would be for him to be able to make the decisions he wants to in terms of how long he wants to play. We're going to continue to honor and respect that and let him speak into that.
The Lakers framed it politely, saying they wanted to give LeBron absolute respect to choose his story. Translation: Bro, when are you leaving? At the same time, they threw $165 million at Luka Dončić faster than you could say farewell tour. The message couldn't be clearer. Luka is the future, LeBron is the past, and the Lakers are ready to move on.
But should LeBron feel disrespected by how the Lakers are treating him at this point?
No, I don't think so. They got new blood. A cat that's going to be the face of their franchise for the next decade, where he's contemplating walking away from the game in the next year or two. Last time I checked, that's business. Secondly, it's pretty hard to be insulted when you're being paid $52 million for 1 year's work.
First time in 23 years, LeBron James is playing on an expiring contract. Think about that. The chosen one has suddenly become the expendable one. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, Bronny James. LeBron pushed his son into the NBA through sheer nepotism, but the cracks are showing. Bronny was offered a spot in the Rising Stars game and declined. He was invited to the Father-Son Skills Challenge and declined. Why? Because deep down, everyone knows the uncomfortable truth. Bronny doesn't belong.
The first father-son duo in an NBA game. To the cutting James. Oh! Look out! The legend of LeBron continues to grow. Who else but the king?
One thing I always say, don't never let somebody tell you you can't achieve stuff.
But here's where it really gets spicy. Chandler Parsons exposed the hypocrisy by raising the uncomfortable question. Would LeBron have suited up if Bronny James had been one of the rising stars?
Because those kids deserve to be there.
Why is it different? Like,
What is he taking away from? What is he taking away from anybody? He's not taking away from anybody.
He took away an all-star. He took away an all-star from like Sabonis that should have been there. He was.
Well, you mentioned Bronny. Bronny's not taking away.
I'm just saying about the rising star situation. The rising star situation.
He wasn't a part of it. Yeah. So you're saying that his son is playing. Go ahead.
The answer is obvious. LeBron orchestrated his son's NBA debut for the cameras, the history books, and the narrative. But when it comes to real competition, even he knows the jig is up. This isn't about a father supporting his son, it's about a legacy play that backfired. Every team forced to waste minutes on Bronny knows it. Every player who lost a roster spot to nepotism knows it. And now, even LeBron knows it. February 2025 changed everything when the Lakers traded for Luka Dončić, instantly turning LeBron James into a supporting actor in his own movie. The body language said it all. LeBron was mysteriously absent from Luka's extension press conference. He was in Los Angeles but chose not to show up. As Rachel Nichols put it, the issue for LeBron seems to have less to do with Luka himself and much more to do with the Lakers organization.
If that was indeed he was in town and that was a decision he made, has a lot more to do with the Lakers organization than it does with Luka.
The Lakers handed Luka Dončić 3 years and $165 million without hesitation. LeBron? They wouldn't even discuss an extension. The hierarchy shift isn't subtle, it's a sledgehammer. For the first time in his career, LeBron James has been forced into the role of Robin. And unlike 2011 in Miami, when he chose that role temporarily, this time the decision has been made for him. The king has been dethroned in his own kingdom. Here's the truth the LeBron propaganda machine doesn't want you to hear. His defense has been a myth for years. Remember all those all-defensive team selections? The narrative that he could guard 1 through 5? The 2011 finals exposed the cracks. Jason Terry, a 33-year-old shooting guard, left LeBron looking lost. J.J. Barea, 5 feet 10 inches on a good day, torched the so-called best player in the world. Kobe Bryant never let a role player dominate him in the finals. Michael Jordan never had his defensive reputation shredded by someone nicknamed the Jet. Yet LeBron has been hiding on defense for more than a decade, cherry-picking for highlight chasedown blocks while his own man buried open threes. The stats don't lie, the eye test doesn't lie, and Jason Terry's Finals MVP candidacy definitely didn't lie. That brings us to LeBron's real legacy, the NBA's greatest PR creation.
The chosen one, self-appointed. The king, self-crowned. The GOAT, self-proclaimed.
This is the same man who declared himself the greatest of all time while trailing Jordan in nearly every meaningful category. He orchestrated the decision and then played the victim. He formed super teams and then complained about not having enough help. He posted cryptic Instagram messages throwing teammates under the bus. He pushed for trades that gutted franchises and then bolted when things got tough. And now he's trying to orchestrate his farewell tour while the Lakers are practically shoving him toward the exit. The same franchise that retired jerseys for players with half his accomplishments won't even give him a 2-year deal. Here's what's really happening. LeBron is setting up for his final power move. Multiple teams reportedly inquired about trading for him this summer. Rich Paul claims the Lakers said no, not because they value him, but because they want his $52.6 million contract off the books. Options are dwindling. Cleveland is rebuilding around young talent.
Miami?
Pat Riley already showed him the door once.
Golden State?
Steph Curry doesn't need a 41-year-old sidekick. The reality is sobering. LeBron might be forced into retirement, not on his terms, but because no team wants to pay max money for a 41-year-old who misses all-star games and plays second fiddle to younger stars. Here's what almost no one wants to admit. LeBron James' career is ending exactly as his harshest critics predicted. No farewell tour like Kobe's emotional goodbye. No quiet exit like Tim Duncan's understated excellence. No storybook final championship like Dirk Nowitzki. Instead, we're watching a slow, painful decline where his own team won't extend him. He's ducking competition from rookies. His legacy plays are blowing up in his face. Younger stars are stealing his throne while he looks on from the sidelines. His absence from the 2025 All-Star Game wasn't about ankle soreness. It was about a 40-year-old realizing the game has passed him by. The rising stars he avoided aren't rising anymore. They've already arrived, and LeBron knows it. Look at the record. 4 wins and 6 losses in the NBA Finals.
Jordan? 6-0. Kobe? 5-2. Duncan? 5-1. Magic? 5-4. Bird? 3-2.
LeBron is the only one in that group with a losing finals record. And before you scream, but he made 10 finals, remember that 6 of those runs came in a historically weak Eastern Conference, where making the finals was practically guaranteed with a pulse and a super team. In 2011, he choked against Dallas. In 2014, San Antonio dismantled him. In 2015, Golden State beat him with Andrew Bogut starting at center. In 2017 and 2018, he was annihilated. The King has spent more time losing on the biggest stage than winning, and now he can't even show up to an exhibition game.